Good Morning Miramar, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m., right here, right now.
Good morning, Miramar. My name is Danielle Reales, Marketing Coordinator with the City of Miramar's Office of Marketing and Public Relations. We are so excited to have you all joining us. Today is Tuesday, April 3rd. First week in April. We're so happy to be back with you all. We have a wonderful show planned out for all of you today. We will be joined this morning by Robin Bain, who is our Assistant Director of Utilities for the City of Miramar. She's here today to tell us all about water conservation efforts happening right here in Miramar and how you can get involved and help save water today. Be sure to comment on our live stream via Facebook or dial into our program by calling us at 1-877-2-MIRAMAR. That's 1-877-264-7262. We'll be taking all of your questions live. The weather for today, Tuesday, April the 3rd, will bring partly cloudy skies with a high temperature this morning of 85 degrees and a low of 69 degrees. We wanted to remind everyone that the Florida Grand Opera is hosting Florida Grand Opera Family Fun Day with a free behind-the-scenes experience with interactive musical activities and live family-friendly performances. Hands-on displays will showcase the magic created behind the curtain, and exciting opportunities abound to give you a sneak peek at what it takes to perform, design, and create in the world of opera. This event will take place on Sunday, April the 8th at 1 p.m. at our Miramar Cultural Center. Immediately following the festivities, the Miramar Cultural Center will feature Together We Are Miramar, a mini documentary about Miramar's residents and businesses, unique stories, diverse backgrounds, and varied heritage. Attend the premiere of the documentary screening on Sunday, April the 8th at 2:30 p.m. at the Miramar Cultural Center. For more information on these two events, please visit MiramarCulturalCenter.org. We're also inviting you to experience America's Got Talent favorite, Sons of Serendip. They are coming to Miramar, giving a nod to Stevie Wonder's album, Songs in the Key of Life. Sons of Serendip honors this legendary singer and songwriter with their exciting new show. Their soulful pop sound blends with beautiful vocals, guitar, piano, harp, and cello, creating musical moments that touch the heart and lift the spirit. Get your tickets today at MiramarCulturalCenter.org and join us at the Miramar Cultural Center Arts Park on Friday, April the 13th at 8 p.m. for this fantastic show. Commissioner Darlene B. Riggs is inviting all faith leaders to the 3rd annual Faith Leaders Brunch, sponsored by South Broward Community Health Services, Chamberlain University, and Simply Healthcare. This event is happening Thursday, April the 12th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Miramar Cultural Center, located at 2400 Civic Center Place in Miramar. This brunch will provide resources for faith leaders in healthcare, how to start a food bank, free summer programs, and even a chance to win a $500 grant for your faith-based organization. For more information on this, please give us a call at 954-789-9609. The City of Miramar Parks and Recreation Department is inviting all of you to April Pools Day. This fun event is happening Saturday, April the 14th. We actually hosted our inaugural event last year. Sponsored by Memorial Healthcare System, we're inviting you and your family to enjoy a day of fun-filled activities in the sun with music, free food, fun, and games at our Miramar Aquatic Complex located at 6920 Southwest 35th Street in Miramar. There will be fun giveaways like funbrella rentals, a week of swim camp, and 20 free swimming lessons. Register today at www.aprilpoolsday.eventbrite.com. Join Miramar's Mayor, Wayne Messam, as he hosts a conversation in our community to share information about important issues for residents and about what's taking place in Miramar, and also to answer questions about our city. This conversation will take place at our Humble Abode restaurant in Miramar, located at 16283 Miramar Parkway, Tuesday, April 17th at 6 p.m. For more information, please call 954-602-3198. Commissioner Yvette Colburn is inviting everyone to come out Saturday, April 21st from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. as she hosts Earth Day cleanup at Lakeshore Park, located at 8501 Sherman Circle South. Community service hours will be awarded for those who participate, and if you'd like more information on this Earth Day event, please call 954-602-3143. Commissioner Maxwell Chambers is inviting all of our residents to a free citizen drive and expungement event happening Saturday, April the 28th at the Miramar Multi-Service Complex from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Multi-Service Complex Ballroom located at 6700 Miramar Parkway. This event is in collaboration with attorneys from the Jamaican American Bar Association. And if you'd like more information on the services being offered that day, you can call 1-800-600-5762. Another great event from the Miramar Cultural Center, I Am King, the Michael Jackson Experience, is happening Thursday, May the 10th at 8 p.m. During this show, Michael Jackson is brought to life in an explosive performance by an incredible cast of talented musicians, singers, and dancers, featuring his greatest hits, including Thriller, Billie Jean, Bad, and more. Purchase your tickets today by visiting MiramarCulturalCenter.org. Commissioner Maxwell Chambers and the Community Health and Empowerment Network are inviting all of our moms and their families to the second annual Pink Pumps and Pearls Mother's Day Brunch happening Saturday, May the 12th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. at our Miramar Cultural Center. Tickets are $40 before May 1st and $50 after. For more information on registration or how to nominate a great mom, please visit www.healthempowermentnetwork.org. And finally, we're having all of our residents save the date. Come out and celebrate our city's birthday with an international tour. Miramar Day is happening Saturday, May 19th from 5 to 10 p.m. at the Miramar Amp, located at Miramar Regional Park, 16801 Miramar Parkway. Miramar Day this year is going to feature an amazing concert, cultural festivities, a kids fun zone, an international marketplace, and so much more. We encourage all of you to attend, and we look forward to seeing you there. Now, without further ado, I would like to reintroduce our very special guest this morning. We have Miss Robin Bain here with our Utilities Department. She's the Assistant Director, and she's here today in honor of Earth Month. And we are talking all about water conservation because it's such an important topic, and the City of Miramar is really active in promoting water conservation, conserving our natural resources, and we're inviting you to a very special way on how you can get involved as well. So good morning, Robin.
Good morning. Fine, thank you.
Good, thanks so much for coming on the show. Now, Robin, before we get into all of the fun facts about water conservation, I just wanted you to introduce yourself briefly. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience working in government, and kind of just a little bit about your background before coming to the City of Miramar and how long you've been here.
And how long do we have this morning for that?
We have as much time as you need.
No. Thank you, Danielle. I really appreciate it. So I've been in a non-traditional field for women for my entire career. I'm a civil engineer and an environmental engineer. And I've been working in the water, wastewater, reclaimed water, environmental industry for 38 years now. And it's just hard for me to believe. And the changes that have occurred over the years in the regulatory community, but more importantly in the social awareness of environmental issues, it's just been astounding. And for the last 16 years prior to moving here early last year, I was living in Arizona, and I was working for the city of Peoria, which is one of the quote bedroom communities of Phoenix. Mm-hmm. And one of my roles there is similar to one of my roles here, which is to oversee and implement water conservation programs. Now, intuitively, everyone kind of gets why water conservation is really important in the desert Southwest. It's really intuitive if you've visited there, and then when you actually live there and you go to open your car doors and you burn your hands and you learn real quick you need to wear oven mitts. Wow. You really get a sense of how dry it is and how little rain they get, and why it is so important to be aware of how much water you use, both indoor and outdoor. And so during that time in Arizona, I was involved with a regional program called Water Use It Wisely, and that program is very similar to the program that I am now enjoying here in Broward County, and that's called Conservation Pays. So we'll talk a little bit about that in a couple minutes. But water is there's no new water, and it's really It's something that people really don't recognize. As long as you turn your faucet on and you get potable water out, you go to flush your toilet, you go to wash your dishes, you go to do your laundry, you have water when you need it, and it goes away when you're done with it. That's basically what people see and think about water, right? But when you're living in an area like this, and certainly for myself coming here again after living out in Arizona for so long, seeing all this green grass, and there's a lake and there's a pond and there's a canal everywhere you turn, it's definitely not intuitive why in the world any of us would be concerned about water.
Right.
But lo and behold, it's just as important here as it is in the desert, and it's just as important here as it is basically anywhere in the world, because again, there's no new water. Particularly here in South Florida, we rely on two aquifers, the Biscayne and the Floridan, but primarily the Biscayne, and that aquifer is it's very robust, it's very healthy, and it's kept that way because we manage our water resources so that the salt water doesn't intrude, right, and that we are putting in as much as possible, either naturally through rainfall or by recharging. So in order for us to be able to sustain this green grass and the way that we use water and the way that we have fun with water, we still need to be good stewards of using water on a daily basis.
Absolutely. And you made a great point, because in our previous conversations about all of the efforts that the City of Miramar is going into to conserve water, you've talked about how out west it's so different in the sense of like, if there's like a leaking sprinkler, someone, if the homeowner doesn't notice, someone else will report it because it's so important. But here you kind of see it and you're just like, okay, that's their problem. But it's really all of our problems, because you mentioned there's no new water and it's so important to conserve it.
Absolutely, yes. In the Phoenix area, we, folks that worked in water conservation, we were often known as the water police, because you're absolutely right. If you saw a broken sprinkler head and you had a fountain where there's not supposed to be a fountain, people, if they couldn't reach the person directly responsible for it that second, they were on the phone to customer service, and they were really panicking because this water was just being wasted. Yeah. So, but out here, again, it just doesn't seem intuitive that you would need to worry about water. But if we continue to be good stewards of it, we won't, and our children won't, and our grandchildren, et cetera, won't have to worry about water. So it's the one nuance that I did want to mention, it's not just quantity, it's also quality.
Yes.
So that's a little bit about what we'll talk about when we get into some of our show and tell here.
Yes, definitely. So I do want to get into that show and tell, but you mentioned, our aquifers, and I just did want to make one more point. People often don't take things like water conservation into consideration until there's an emergency, like a drought, or there's, you realize, okay, it's not raining, it hasn't been raining, we need to cut back on the water. So we just definitely want to put this information forward, so that you're aware of how the City of Miramar is working toward conserving water, how you can help, and how you can make sure that you're prepared before there's an emergency. with water.
Yes, very, very good points. And actually, one of the reasons why April is Florida's Earth Month is because it is the height of the dry season.
Okay.
And I found that information on the South Florida Water Management District website as I was doing some research just for my own information. And of course, the other reason is because Earth Day is on April 22nd,
yes.
and is usually celebrated on a Saturday near that date.
Definitely. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we return, we want to talk about all of our great show and tell goodies, how you can utilize resources provided by the City of Miramar's Utilities Department to help save you water, and we're going to get into a great information on how you can sign up for a water pledge to help save water in your community. Stay tuned.
America's Got Talent favorite Sons of Serendip comes to Miramar.
I won't cry for yesterday. There's an ordinary world. Somehow I have to find. And as I try to make my way to
April 13th at 8 p.m., experience Sons of Serendip. For tickets, call 954-602-4500.
Good morning, Miramar, and welcome back. Thanks to all of you who remain tuned in. Now, before we went on commercial break, we mentioned that we had some great goodies here that Robin's going to talk about to help you continue to conserve water. So I'm going to have you get into all of these little products that we have here.
Very good. Well, all of these products are available for free to Miramar residents. And basically, all you need to do if you're interested is to contact our customer service representative team at 1-954-602-HELP. So that's 602-4357,
Yes.
right? And I'm sure you've all heard this phone number before. You can use it for any concerns, complaints, and most importantly, any compliments you want to send along. But seriously, if you're interested in any of these products, just give us a call. We'll actually give you a goodie bag with all of this. So what we have here this morning, excuse me, and this is related to water quantity. Okay, so we provide low flow shower heads, and very simple, even somebody like myself can change this out. We have the same for your kitchen faucet, and the same for a typical bathroom faucet.
Okay.
And essentially what they do is they give you the sense that you're getting the same amount of water, but you're really not.
So good pressure still.
It's good pressure, and again, it gives you the impression that you're using the same amount of water, but you are losing less. And over time, you will start to see it on your water bills. We also, and this is something that we often run into, but we don't realize what's going on. So toilets leak. And
Yes.
Especially the older they get, and especially the older the flapper gets, they're going to start to leak. And really over the course of a year, a leaking toilet can waste 10,000 or more gallons of water.
Wow.
That's a lot of water. And again, that is hitting your pocketbook as well. So we have some simple little dye tabs, and you put those in your tank. And when you flush, you can see where the dye goes, and it'll give you a good idea of what's leaking and how much. And as I mentioned, we also provide replacement flappers, which at one time or another we will all need, and then the really fun, nice giveaway, if you will, is the attachment where you actually can use this as a the moving shower head.
Yes.
Okay, and this is a low flow version. Now, as far as quality is concerned, one thing that that's really important, that again we just kind of take for granted, is grease. So when we fry our bacon and eggs or whatever it is, and we are cleaning up after we've let the grease cooled. We were chatting before we went on camera that you'd find a can or a spaghetti jar or something that you can pour the grease into. And that's the way you're supposed to do it, instead of letting the grease go down the drain. When that grease goes down the drain, it will congeal at some point, and it will be bound up with other things in wastewater that just things that don't dissolve. Like toilet paper is really the only thing that will dissolve in wastewater. Okay, so everything else is going to get bound up with that grease, and ultimately you can end up with issues in the collection system. And that's that's really nasty, and that is an operational a maintenance expense.
It'd be a nightmare for so many people.
It is a nightmare for a lot of people if that manhole overflows. So one of the things that we give away also is this little grease trap, if you will, and essentially what you do is you use these disposable bags, and you fill these up with grease. And when you're done, you simply button it up tightly, and you pitch it in the trash. And believe it or not, trash is the right place for the grease to go. If you don't have access to this, make sure you use paper towels and just soak that grease up and get it into your trash.
Absolutely.
Okay, don't flush it; it goes into the trash.
Garbage. And that's great to know, because I know I've seen people just pour grease down the drain. I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah, so no grease down the drain, especially South Florida. I think a lot of people from Caribbean and Latin American backgrounds, and many backgrounds, just fry a lot of great food, and we can't just throw it down the drain.
Right.
We can't do that.
Right.
So we also wanted to get into the main reason why we're here today, which is to talk about the Wyland Foundation and their National Mayor's Challenge for Water Conservation.
Right.
So the City of Miramar and MiramarFL was challenged to take the My Water Pledge. So tell us a little bit about the pledge and how people can get involved.
Okay, very good. Well, yes, the Wyland Foundation has been funding and supporting this water conservation effort across the nation for, I believe, 7 years. And this year, our mayor received an invitation for our city to participate, and he gladly accepted the challenge. Yes. Because he knows how great of stewards we are, and we have been, and we've led the way in South Florida for many years as far as how we use our water and our reclaimed water, frankly. So accepted that challenge, and what does that mean to us? Okay, so what the challenge is about is to see which cities across the nation in each of their population categories can garner the most pledges from its residents, visitors, students, teachers, administrators, businesses, employees, and the pledge essentially takes 1 or 2 minutes. You can use your cell phone, you can use your tablets, you can obviously use a computer, and essentially what it does is it asks you to pledge that you're going to use less water, and it brings up different ways, like excuse me, like using a broom instead of your hose to wash down your driveway. Yes. You use the broom, you collect the debris, and you throw it in the trash instead of using water and then getting that debris into our storm drainage system, which eventually makes its way to all of our waterways, and we'll pick up oil and other things and add to pollutants. And what's really nice about the pledge is that on each bullet, if you will, where you are asked to pledge to, you're pledging to reduce your water consumption. It actually gives you the little educational reason why you do it. So for the adults that take it, excuse me, those other than young children, it's actually a great way for us to learn as well as us to share why each of these particular things that we can commit to will do. It also leads us through some recycling commitments and things like shutting the lights off when you leave the room. And why is that important? Why is that related to water? Well, water is necessary for absolutely everything. Not only to sustain life of everything on Earth, but actually to sustain and make our lives what they are today, our standard of living. So electricity takes water to produce, as does recycling. Saves on all of the raw materials, which use copious amounts of water to bring products to market. So it's all this big circle. It's Earth stuff. It's Earth Month. So what we want to do is get out to events in the month of April, because the pledge is only from April 1st through April 30th.
Yes. So what's great about this is that it's a little bit of a challenge to see if Miramar can be at the top of their population category. So we're competing against quite a few cities in the nation. I believe last year Athens, Georgia won in this category. So City of Miramar wants to be number 1 this year. And you actually, just by signing up, all you have to do is visit MiramarFL.gov. You visit MiramarFL.gov, take the pledge. It takes 2 minutes. You get a little bit of information about yourself, how they can contact you, and you'll actually might even get a chance to win a year free utilities.
That's right.
And they're also giving away a free RAV4 hybrid for a deserving charity in your community. So you can nominate your favorite charity as well. Okay. And Robin, before we close, is there anything else that you'd like to mention?
I just appreciate the opportunity to be able to share the good word about water conservation. We appreciate what everyone is doing to be good stewards of water, and we're delighted that we have this opportunity to ask you to take the pledge at MiramarFL.com. Make sure you select Miramar, Florida as the city that you're taking the pledge on behalf of. And let's get a win for the city.
Yes, and that's April 1st to the 30th, MyWaterPledge.com. Select Miramar for your chance to enter. Thank you all for tuning into Good Morning Miramar this morning. We'll be talking about water conservation throughout the month, but remember, you can tune into our show live every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Have a great day, and remember, it's right here in Miramar. Bye-bye.